Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to my mukbang. We are having crackers with cheese and crackers with ham. This is actually like salami and sausage, like cold ham. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just, I have all this meat and cheese left over and, I'm leaving tomorrow. So I have to eat it. It's going to expire in like a few days. So I'm going to eat it for you guys. And I thought, what not better way than cheese and crackers, because it was one of my favorite snacks growing up. And it's so easy to make and it's so satisfying. So here we go. Let's begin. All right. I also have lots of condiments here because you never know. The boy gets hungry. I have peanut butter. Jif is one of my favorite brand. I've tried Skippy, I've tried Peter Pan, I've tried all the Walmart brand. Jif is my favorite. I also have mustard. Here's some mustard. I have some ketchup. These are leftover from yesterday's Halloween mukbang. And some, what is that? Guacamole. Oh, well, I also have like some that's been used over here, but just in case I want more. I have leftover salsa. And I have to use this. It's gonna expire soon. Oh my gosh, it's so greasy. The famous butter I've been putting on everything this whole week. So, here we go. Okay. So this says Pague 10 lebe tacos. Tacos? 12 tacos. All right, my Spanish friends, help me out. What is this trying to tell me? This is like a buy one, get one free type of deal. This is, we were very fortunate to find this. We found this. Well, Orland found it. So I have to disconnect to it. You know who would love these? Orland's mom. He loves soft crackers. She literally lives off crackers, you guys. Oops. Okay. So put one of these down. And let's open from this end. How's Mr. Noodle? He's also quiet and patient. Wow. They come in individual pack. Look at that. Individual little, they look like little tissue boxes. So I'll put them here for display. Oh, it's like Christmas when you can't open the present. You're like, ugh. All right, so put these here. And, okay. Oh my God, it's like ASMR. ASMR I don't think is for me really. Here are the crackers. Whoa, here they are. Salty crackers. Yum. What's wrong? You want some food? This is rice and corn and a few carrots at the bottom. It's been cooked. Noodle? Ah, noodle. Oh, nice and loud and proclaimed. Okay, so I'm really excited. This here is my cheese, and it's almond cheese. There's the price. I know, it's expensive. Queso de almendras. There you go. It's cheese made out of almonds. Now, where are those scissors? I probably could use the knife, but... All right. Have my cheese. Where's my cutting board? Oh, it's over here drying up against the window. Noodle, you're being so well behaved today. Okay, so here's my cutting board. Dun 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 dun, and we're gonna cut the cheese. Doesn't that mean expel gas? That's why I used to say as a kid. My parents never taught me to say fart. They would say, "Excuse you." When you do it, boop, you say, "I'm sorry, excuse me, I expelled gas." You say, "I expelled gas," and that's even funnier than saying farted. Excuse me, I expelled gas. And sometimes I wouldn't even say expelled, I would just say I spelled gas. So I'd be like, I spelled gas, I spelled gas. All right. Did I really just snip the cheese? What's wrong with me? Okay, so we're gonna, oh, this is very smooth. So we're gonna cut it into little, wow, very, very smooth. Wow. Up. Can you even see the cheese? It's so white. White cheese. Oopsie. Yep, like this, like this, like this. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite snacks that I learned from my mom. And that was cheese and crackers. What was it called? Monterey Jack? Monterey Jack. It was two types of cheeses. It was like the dark orange cheese and the white cheese. And it was like this it looked like a cheetah, except different colors, just speckled. And a Monterey Jack, I believe. And it came in a bar like this. And it was so thick and so thick. It was so thick and I loved it so much. I sometimes would eat the whole bar just as the bar. I would sit in my bed, do some homework, and eat the bar of cheese. That's how much of a cheese fanatic I am. There you go. Everyone type down below and say good morning to Mr. Noodle. Good morning, Mr. Noodle. Good morning, Mr. Noodle. All right, let's cut these cheeses into, how big are these crackers? Oh, they would, yeah, how about in halves? There we go. My cutting skills, aren't you impressed? Does Mr. Noodle want cheese? This might be too high in protein for you. Actually, no, I don't know. It comes from a nut. Well, I might give him a little schlitter, but that's it. I'm just like, this is why Orland does not like me in the kitchen. I'm just like, hello, there you go. So, cheese and crackers, I love you so much. And, oh, with the Ritz crackers, my mom, when I was a kid, one of my favorite snacks was peanut butter marshmallow crackers. And she would take 2 crackers, like so, but they were the Ritz ones that were round. Let me know if you eat those. Oh, probably want a cracker. And she would take one and put peanut butter, take the other one and put marshmallow, and put them on top, and it would be so good. Oh, okay, you can have. It's a little struggle bus. You can eat that whole thing. I think not. You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna crumple it all over me. I think this might be a little too salty for you. Come here. Maybe take a little, snap it. Crunch, 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 crunch. I love hearing him crunch, 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 crunch. This is for you. This is healthier. It's salt-free. So now I'm gonna have, I'm pretty sure it says salami. Let me try reading it to you in Espanol. Salchichón de vegetales. Salchichón. Salchichón. I know. I think it's salami. It looks like salami. It has a heart on it. That means it's heart healthy. Here you go. Heart healthy. Just like the bottles of oil I've been chugging down. Gong, 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 gong. Well, it's healthy as well. Net count. Okay. It's just soy. Soy, 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 soy. This is soy good. Soy gross. So, these are kind of in the way now. Wow, it smells just like salami. Let me show you what this looks like. Break them apart just like this. And it's little salami slices. It's like, is this pepperoni? There you go. You can have some more rice. I thought about putting him on the table just so he could eat freely, but I know he would come after all this stuff. So let me break these apart. I'm gonna eat all of it because I have to. It's gonna expire. Well, I want to, but it's gonna expire in like a few days. Anyone pause the screen and see the date? Oh, actually, well, this one's not as soon. That's November 5th. But the cheese, yeah, that has to go. The butter, that has to go. Right. Wow, it smells just... I never even liked... Like, I prefer the peanut butter marshmallow. I prefer the peanut butter marshmallow crackers, not the salami. But this is a treat. And it's a special occasion. I wish I had more cheese. That's what I really want. So at this point, please let me know what we're eating together. This is like a quick lickety-split lunch. Breakfast, actually. This is my breakfast. I did have one banana before riding my bike through the town. Oh, it's such a beautiful day outside. Not a single cloud in the sky. That's not gonna last long here in the tropics, but it's hot. It's always very hot. Oh, you're so happy. Boom, got my display finished, you guys. So let's make my first sandwich. I'm gonna add first a piece of salami. Put it on just like that. Piece of cheese, put that on just like that. And now we need the other cracker, which is here. I'm gonna have my first bite. Mmm. Mmm. Oh, this is good. Here, you can have some rice. Oh, bit of. This is amazing. Oh my god, it's so good. Mmm. Wow. And I brought napkins today, you guys, so I'm not that sloppy of a sloth. Oh, but this is not like a messy meal. Where's that jjajangmyeon? I was all over the place, you know. Okay, let's make another one. Oh, this is so much fun. Bringing back memories to my childhood. It's like a kid's snack, cheese and crackers. Now first, on this one, I'm gonna put some butter. Give it some extra flavor. And I'll show you. Ooh, look at that. Put that there. And I have a knife to spread with, which is over here. Oh, it smells like margarine. Well, it is. Okay, so now, here we go. Making the sandwich again. We have this, we have the cheese. I want 2 pieces of cheese. The cheese is like my favorite part. And on the other side of the cracker, let's add guacamole. Oh, let me use what's already been opened. We opened this one yesterday. All right, twist off the top. And here we go. Oh, plop, plop, plop. Okay. Ooh, I love guacamole. It has great flavors. Now, I'm gonna show you what this looks like up close and personal. Here's this, put this on top. Doesn't that look nice? Wow, that butter is so strong. Who eats butter on their crackers? I do. Oh. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. Here. You can help yourself. No, bad idea. Bad idea. So now I'm gonna put him right here. You can step right here. Oh, there goes my cheese. Here, you can help yourself. Oh, this is so good. Oh, it's so good. First thing in the morning when you're hungry. It's so good. Next, now I have to keep this guacamole far away because if Noodle has a lick. Well, if he had a lick, he wouldn't die, but if he has a substantial amount of avocado, anything with avocado, he's dead. Excuse me, I'm sorry if I'm in your way. I just have to get some napkins. This is so good. All right. Cracker number 3. This is so fun and easy. I want more butter. That butter just made it so... Oh, yes. And the salami. Oh, how about just a salami one? That's different. And mustard. Let's try mustard. Mustard and salami go really well together, don't they? I think so. Put that on like this. Oops. I know, I'm gross. Oh my gosh, is this American food? I don't even know. Is this what Americans like to eat? Wow. The crackers go everywhere. You know, a popular Lunchable that they sell in the States, that may be other parts of the world as well. It's called Lunchable, and it's designed for kids. It's like in kid shapes and easy to pick up with your hands. My favorite part was that red stick, that red spreader. Oh, my parents never bought me Lunchables. They said it was junk. But then they would send me to school with a peanut butter marshmallow sandwich. But anyways, my dad used to give me Lunchables, but not my mom. She wore the pants. So my friends, when they would spread on their spread, oh, that little red stick, I would like to lick the stick. And literally, it's what I'm eating right now. Ham and cheese and crackers. Look at him go. Wow. He really likes to eat. You better eat those vegetables, mister. He'll pick around them and only eat the rice. Excuse me. So today, I thought I would tell you a little bit. What's this? Ketchup. Where's ketchup? Oh. Today, I thought I would tell you a little bit about the church I grew up in. Ooh, this is strong. It's fuerte.
Oh, you're so precious. Yes, you are. You're so precious.
My church. Now, I was raised in a household that was Christian. You know, my mom, well, she was like a fallen Catholic. She went to Catholic high school, Catholic grade school, Catholic University of America, and then by that point, she was like, no more of this. Then she went to the Lutherans, where they're a little more chilled out, according to her. And, you know, I think you just have to do less. There's less rules. Like if you make sins, oh, he wants to go to a spot. If you make sins, if you do bad things, you have to ask for forgiveness, and you have to give money, and you have to go repent, and yada, yada, yada. She didn't like, you know, basically now she believes that when you make a mistake, since Jesus died, your sins are automatically forgiven. So that's that. All right, let me show you. Ooh, look at that. Yummy. So good. I love the crunch. Crunch, 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 crunch. So, my dad is a very easygoing guy. He actually reminds me of Orlin, my dad. Very easygoing, very nice, like a teddy bear. I know, just like my father. Growing up, when we lived in the Washington, D.C. area, my parents worked extra hard to send us to a private Catholic grade school. You know, like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, all those grades. And it was called Holy Redeemer. Oh my gosh, so many stories come from that school, but all the trouble I got in, all the principal's office visits, all the naughty stuff. Do you guys want to hear about that? That could be 5 mukbangs right there. But they worked hard to send us there. You know, it was expensive. It was just like $15,000 a year for me and my sister. You know, we aren't like, my family's not wealthy. My dad's a truck driver. What? Here you go. My dad's a truck driver. My mom's a nurse. I mean, nurses make good money. But again, there's 3 kids. They have a mortgage like everyone else. They have a car payment like everyone else. So we weren't rolling in the dough. Anyways, but they did it because the public schools in that area were not very safe. They're not very safe, and I don't think they were very good. It made my mom nervous in general. We had a neighbor down the street, Candace, and she went to the public schools. And oh, did she act different than us? You know, she... I don't even want to... It could have been the child. It could have been how she was raised. It's not saying it's a reflection of the school. It could be a reflection of her personality, her parents. You know, there's a lot goes into play. You know, I can't stand it when people say, your kid turned out really bad. You failed as a parent. It's like, you could do everything right as a parent, and your kid could still have issues and still struggle. So anyways, we went to the Catholic school. There's that noise again. You hear that noise? Okay, I want to add a little guacamole to this. I know this story's not very interesting, but it's a little about my background, you know. And plop, there it goes. Cracker. Here we are. Oh, look at that. Now this is a little empty on the inside. Let's shove in the cheese in there. Yes, there we go. This is very nice, Mr. Doodle. So long story short, we ended up leaving the Holy Redeemer. And it's a good thing that we left, because I would have got my booty kicked out. I would have been expelled. Just like that gas I expelled, my booty would have been expelled from school too. So we moved to central Pennsylvania, as a lot of you guys know. This is so good. And I ended up going to the public school because the public schools were better. They had better whatever. You know, my parents felt more comfortable sending us there. And when we moved to Pennsylvania, my mom was like, okay, no more Catholic stuff, we're Lutheran. So we went to a Lutheran church called Zion Lutheran. Now, there's lots of Zion, there's probably hundreds of Zion Lutherans in the United States. It's a generic name, you know. And this church, I love. Oh, this is so good. Next sandwich, I need more butter. And I have to spread this around. Yeah, this church though was so like awesome. it's changed a little bit since we got there, but in general, it's like the same stuff. They have live musicians, they have like guitar players. It just was relaxed. You could be there in jeans and sneakers. Now, we were still not allowed to do that. I used to say to my mom, you know, if the Jesus wore the robes, the Jesus, Hail Mary, full of grace, you know, if he was all about them sandals, and, you know, he was about giving to the poor, not being materialistic, and doing good with your money, excuse me. So if that's what he was, and he wasn't rolling up in the church with Dolce & Gabbana, why do I have to put on nice sneakers and everything else? Why can't I just wear the robes? And my mom would say, because that's not what we do. But when we went to the Lutheran church, people would show up in jeans and sneakers, like I said. It was more relaxed. We still weren't allowed to do that. Mr. Noodle's just having a blast behind me. Where's that cracker? Where's that cracker? Let's add some of this. This is going to be pico de gallo, which means gallo is a rooster, and pico, this means beak of the rooster beak. That's what it means, rooster beak. I learned that yesterday. Here's my sandwich. So, this church though. Butter with pico de gallo. Now, when we moved to Pennsylvania, this was around the time where I picked up the violin. And I started playing violin. I'm like 30% full. This is gonna go on for a while. I have more napkins. I'm prepared. Bye-bye, noodle. So at one point, excuse me, when I was able to play a scale in tune, like, I'm telling you, I was not the Mozart or the next, you know, playing violin is difficult, especially when you're first starting out. There goes the crackers. Oh, when you're first starting out, you're gonna sound like cats dying. Orland tried playing violin even before I met him, and he said he tried for like a few years, I think, and he was just like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It's very difficult. So, anyways, once I could play a scale somewhat in tune, my mom, I think it was her that had the idea, or maybe it was Kim, my friend Kim at church. Kim is my friend. She's not my age. She's old enough to be my mom, but she also played the viola. Lots of connections here at this church. And so someone had the idea that I play violin up in the altar at the church. Someone had that idea. I don't know who. And so I started doing it. Because like I said, this was a very like hip and relaxed church. They had guitar players, string players. They already had a string ensemble. And so I did it. And oh, boy, did I love it. And what I loved about this church, did I eat all the crackers? I think I did. What I loved was that I was able, it was like performance time for me. Now, this is where it gets tricky. And this is one where, when I got to a certain point in my faith, that I felt a little conflicted. Being there, being part of the worship ceremony, and then deciding when I was in high school, you know, I was in middle school at this story, but I'm saying I played there for many years, and by the time I got to high school, I was a little conflicted because I started to say, I don't want to say Christianity is right because I don't know. And I guess I don't have that faith. And then I thought, well, how do I know Muslim faith isn't right? How do I know Judaism is right? How do I know that Buddhism isn't right? How do I know? And why is it this is the right way when other people around the world do it differently? And I'm sure they believe wholeheartedly in what they're doing. How do I know? And coming out as being gay, as you heard in my story, my coming out story. Oh, my cheese came out. It's difficult to see texts from the Bible saying thou shalt not lie with men. And it's like, well, this is how I naturally feel. So is this what I want to do? I mean, there's plenty of gay Christians, but it was one of the other reasons. So anyways, being at this church was like a performance for me. And I talked to Sally. Sally was the music director at this church. And wow, I formed this bond with her, and she watched me grow. Walking in there and like I don't know, 6th grade, 7th grade, not play a scale and tune. And then graduating high school and saying goodbye to the church. You know, I played there almost every Sunday, or most Sundays. Of course, I took some time off when I went to music camp and stuff. But they watched me just get better and better and better. And they gave me that opportunity to perform and improve my skills. And, you know, like I said, the little conflicted feelings once I got to high school, thinking like, well, I don't believe what you believe. Is it okay that I'm still up here? I call this a stage. You call this an altar already, you know? But they didn't care. You know, Sally knew. I talked to Sally a little bit about my, you know, questioning what I believe. And she goes, well, that's okay. We all question. This is also a community. Like, that's what I'm saying. My dad's very nonchalant. My mom's the one that was all Catholic and whatever. I think, and he loved going to church. And I would ask him, do you know what they said in the sermon? Do you know, like, he's never read, I don't think he's ever read the Bible. He'd be like, I don't know. But he said, I like seeing my friends. I like getting the sense of community. People like routine. Getting up and going to church. Whether you black out the sermon, you're just here to listen to the music, like my mom would do sometimes. I wouldn't even listen. I would do sometimes, you know? Is it right or wrong to go to church just to be with your friends and feel that sense of routine and feel that sense of community? And, you know, you see your friends every week, and you get, yeah. And then there's gossip that goes around. There's little church drama. Church drama is so funny. It makes Orlin laugh so hard. Once I got to a certain level, which I think after just 1 year of playing in the church, or 2 years, I had the traditional, the water from the roof. There was a tradition established. Every Christmas Eve, I would play Ave Maria in the center, a cappella. Wow, that was so much fun for me. And I know it's gonna sound weird, but I like making people feel a certain way. I mean, that's what performers do, right? You're there to say a message, whether you use words, whether you use your body, you're there to convey emotion. So people try to feel what you're trying to convey, and you paint this story into their minds, blah, 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 blah. I loved playing that because at the end, by that last note, you could hear a pin drop. It was dead silence. And I would look out into, you know, Christmas Eve Mass is full. Well, they don't call it Mass, it's not Catholic. Church service. It's full. It's one of the busiest. Easter, Christmas, those are the busiest ones. So, packed. And I did this every single Christmas, right? And I would look up after that last note. And I would look out into the audience. And I could see people crying or people holding their breath. You could hear a pin drop. Like, it makes my hair stand up right now just thinking about it. I love that. I love feeling that. To feel that and to be able to provide people crying. It makes me feel good. That's why I said this might sound a little weird. But I loved it. I'm like, yes, I scored 5 points. I made that girl cry and that woman and that man. You know? I loved it. And then when I went to college, I went home for Christmas for a few times. And everyone was so excited for me to come home to play the Ave Maria. Yeah. And what I loved about this church, well, first of all, I'm the type of guy that gets along with adults really well. I've always been that way. Even when I was a children, I always preferred the company of adults. I liked having adult conversations. I liked being around older women. I don't know why, but I've always felt that way. I remember my mom taking me to the doctors, and I got to choose different doctors, a primary patrician, no, what's it called? Physician, caretaker, the psychiatrist, no. It's the name of the doctor that takes care of children. It starts with a P. And I always said, I want a female doctor. I don't know why. Anyways, but in general, there were old men there too that I got along with. These were like friends, not like close friends. They didn't know all my struggles. They didn't hear my high school and middle school gossip. They didn't have to hear me practice. They didn't hear me get in trouble at home. But once a week, it was like a clean slate. Because, you know, whereas at high school, everyone knows you. Middle school, everyone knows you. You see the same people every day. This happens, everyone knows. But at the church, you have people from different schools. You have people driving an hour to get there. Luckily, it was just down the street for us. So, yeah, I made friends there. With the old people. And, I was a part of the choir. No, I didn't sing, but I would play the hymns in the background with them. And for the most part, I think there's some people in the choir that were really annoyed by me, and they didn't like that I was there, loving the spotlight and soaking up the attention. It made them a little upset. And I can understand that, you know. But the majority of the choir, I think, appreciated me being there, and they thought it was fun. They liked something different, you know? Having a violin play with a choir adds something. It adds a new element. And people in the choir, if voluntary, okay, this is volunteer. If you're in a volunteer choir, then you're there not because you're getting paid, not because you have to. You're there because you actually like music. And people that actually like music, they want to hear new elements. They want something, you know, just singing the same old things gets old, especially people at this church. They've been there for a long time, you know. Some of these people, like 30 years. So I made friends with them. This church was so great, you guys. I feel like my story today's been all over the place. I remember right before college, in high school, my senior year, I did like a benefit recital. Well, I got accepted to a music school, but I applied, you know, it wasn't the place I wanted to go, and it was very last minute. I didn't get that scholarship. It was before I got the full ride. That's another story. But, so, I only got half scholarship, so I'm like, oh, shoot. Where am I going to get $22,000? Oh my God. So I did a little benefit recital at the church, and I wrote like a proposal, and I gave it to the board, or the committee that's responsible for like human resource activities at the church. I mean, my mom was part of the board. Well, not back then, but now she is. And, you know, and I said, I would like to do a recital here at the church to raise a few extra dollars to help me get to college. And they said it was okay. I remember we put it in the newspapers. You know, I remember putting it up at my high school. And by the time the recital happened, I forget how many people. It was like maybe halfway full of the church, half full. But I raised nearly $2,000. People just donating to hear me play. And I had this whole program, and Sally, the music director that I liked, she donated her time to do it for free for me. You know, she accompanied on the organ and the piano. I had other members of the choir do duets with me. Like I had Cindy, she sang a song with me. I had Marcia, she played the flute with me. And these are grown adults, and it just gave them an opportunity to perform. And everyone had a good time. And I remember I came home with that basket of money and like 50 cards. You've made this church something special. You were a blessing. I want you to play at my funeral. Yes, people have requested me for their funerals. Like it felt so good. And again, what I loved about the church is they gave me opportunity to perform, to have that recital. Even when I had a stage name, my parents thought I was so cray. I designed a stage name just to be fun, to be like Lady Gaga. And I'm not going to tell you what the stage name was. It's really embarrassing. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. But the music director still supported me. And so that in the little programs you get when you're sitting there, knowing what to do next during the service, it's called a bulletin. I don't know how many of your churches, and they recycle. It's a pamphlet, a piece of paper. It tells you everything. And they say the performers' names, and then you throw it at the trash, at the bin when you're on your way out of the church, and they recycle it. So they put my stage name there, and my mom was like, "No, don't do that. No, he's just too much." But they still did. They were so supportive, even of my craziness, of me coming out. So many things. So I would love to bring you guys to that church one day. Now, a lot of the people. Not a lot. Well, yes, a lot of the people that I remember and I grew up with over that course of 8 years are now gone. Some have died. But the music director's still there. My friend Kim's still there. But yeah, a lot of the other people have left. The new pastor, he's come and gone. Yeah, I was very lucky to have that church. And imagine being in my shoes. It always comes back to my mind. It's like, well, I didn't believe what they believed. Why? I remember I used to do the bread and the offering, the drink the wine. I got to a point in high school, maybe by freshman or sophomore year, where I said, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to participate. I don't believe that. But I would still sit there and play my violin. But, you know, Sally told me something interesting too. She graduated with a degree in music. At the end of the day, you're paying your bills and you're providing a service for someone. To play the organ, to conduct all the rehearsals Wednesdays and Saturdays or whatever throughout the week, for the choir, to put everything together, that was a job. If I went to music school when I graduated, like my friend Rachel in New York City, she freelances and she plays church services all the time, and she's an atheist. And she's like, this is a job. No matter who you are, you can appreciate, beautiful music. So that's, I guess I could look at it that way too. How many agree? My mom used to tell me all the time, I'm gonna have it like this. She used to tell me, Nick, fake it till you make it. She's like, that is a great way to live your life. And I know it's like, why would you fake it? But there's a reason. You want to be confident in what you do, and sometimes you have to do a job you necessarily don't want to do until you can do the job you want to do, says Oprah. That's a quote by Oprah. I'm sure she got from someone else. But, sometimes in life, you just make do. And you don't have to make a big fuss out of it. And stuff like that, your beliefs, you're probably better off just keeping it to yourself anyways. This salami tastes so real. Wow. Let me try to see what this is made. Oh, dripping. Soy. Agua. Protein de soy. Vegetable oil. Apio. With onion. Spices. Yada yada. And I miss those church services at Christmas time. The warmth. Some years were a lot better than others. They would contract. Some years though, they contracted like a horn ensemble. And then they would have the bell choir. Well, the bell choir is always there. Sometimes it was just more of a production than other years. And it's all to praise God, right? Praise the birth of Jesus. I'm gonna have a piece of cheese all by itself. By itself, it tastes like almonds, a little bit. But when mixed with stuff, you don't taste the almond stuff. So, if you don't like almonds, maybe don't get this kind of cheese. There's lots of cheeses. Thanks to everyone who helped me out. On which one? My grilled cheese mukbang? Tell me about different cheeses. Well, unfortunately, it's very rare to find this stuff. That's why we got them, because it was a treat. We're like, we'll spend the extra money, we'll do it, because I don't know when I'm going to eat this stuff again. Let's open up the peanut butter now. This has been sitting here. Oh, that smell. Kids, don't do that. Don't lick your knife. Use a napkin. Okay, and here we go. Put some peanut butter on top. Oh, look at that. Peanut butter. Oh, of course, I would break it. What would go good with peanut butter? Cheese? No. What? I think I'll just have it by itself. Yummy. Oh my god. When you eat peanut butter, and all of a sudden, wow, you're craving water. Everything's sticking to my teeth, it's dry. But you guys know, I never drink water when I eat. Wow. Here's my water. Cheese. That helps, actually. Helps loosen it up in my teeth. There we go. Now I'm going to add a little salsa to these crackers, just like so. And I'm going to make salsa and cheese crackers. I have a lot of cheese left over. Wow, that dog outside needs to stop. A lot of stray dogs around here, you guys. It's very sad, but what can you do? Yummy. In my tummy. I've had 2 packets of crackers, basically. Speaking of church, I remember, like I was saying, the whole musician thing, taking it as a job. I performed for the bishop, some kind of bishop, when he had a funeral in Hershey. Was it Hershey? Mechanicsburg? Something in that area. And this was years ago, not that long ago. I'd say maybe 4 years ago, something like that. And they were contracting violinists to play for the funeral. And was it the funeral? I'm pretty sure it was the funeral. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know what's happening. I'm just up there. Well, here's the thing too. We weren't down with everything happening. We were up in the tippy top of the roof where you can't see what's going on. You just have the conductor telling you when to play and when to stop. And so I didn't really see anything that was happening. I just stayed up there with all the musicians and, you know. But yeah, I got contracted for that. Contracted. Ooh. No, I just got a phone call from the director of the Hershey Symphony, Dr. Sandra Dackel. Was it her or was it Teresa Swenson, the manager of the symphony? Because I was a part of that symphony when I was in high school, which is really cool. Even though it's a volunteer orchestra, it's mostly adults. Anyway, she was part of coordinating that whole to-do for the death of the bishop. And she just called me up and said, hey. And so she just called and said, hey, you know, this bishop passed away. Would you like to play for his whatever? And I said, yes, I'm available. Okay, you'll get $50 done or something like that. Oh. Might have been more than that. $50, I don't know. Things, let me tell you, a lot of you little sloths have asked me about, you know, my past as a violinist and stuff, and I just want to bring up, the payment for this kind of stuff was so all over the place. Sometimes I would perform a show that lasted like 3 weeks in New York, and I would get, you know, $600 or something. And then I would do a show where I would have to take the train all the way to Long Island, and I would get $25 per performance. So it takes an hour and a half to get there from my apartment. I'm sitting there for probably 2 to 3 hours, another hour and a half so that's like $5, $4 an hour, you know? So sometimes I would do stuff for free just to like network and get when I first moved to New York, I did a lot of free cabaret shows. I did a lot of performing for like playing background for singers, just to make connections and stuff and meet producers, and it worked, but it's still, you know, payment, it's all over the place. Oh my God. The world-renowned Philadelphia Orchestra is on strike right now. And Orlin was laughing so hard because he thinks it's ridiculous. But, you know, as a musician, I understand where these people come from. They're on strike because Philadelphia Orchestra is one of the top orchestras in the world. It's known for having a great sound, very high caliber musicians, world-renowned guest conductors, famous stuff, a lot of money, a lot of $1 million donors, you know, rich old ladies that, you know, don't have anything to do with their money and they just give it all to the symphony. You know, there's a lot of people like that, and they have special chairs that, you know, there's a lot of money that goes involved. Well, for being one of the top orchestras in the country, they are paid a significant amount less than the other top orchestras, such as the Cleveland Orchestra, such as the New York Philharmonic, such as, what else is up there? San Francisco, Boston Symphony, the Boston Pops, Boston Symphony. And so they're making less. And they went on strike opening night of the gala. And I was reading the story, the coverage, and it was, so detailed. The women in their ballroom gowns, glistening earrings in the moonlight. Hip, 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 sounds so fancy, this like fancy thing. And the guys in there straightening their crooked silk-like bow tie and escorting their woman into the ballroom beneath the chandeliers, and you can hear the clock ticking and the muffled chitter-chowing of the billionaires in the corner. It was so funny. I forget what paper I read it from, and I read it with Orlin. He's like, oh my god. And so they sit down and they wait for the grand opening of the orchestra, and no one comes on stage. A representative of the orchestra, I think the manager or something, she came on stage and said, we're sorry to say, but the orchestra's on strike. Sorry, you paid all this money for your opening night, but we're refusing to perform because our contract is not justified. So let me tell you, the average person in the Philadelphia Orchestra is making over $100,000 a year. And he's like, for playing a box of wood with strings, what the heck? But I was like, listen, it's not, and the thing is too, you're not working 40 hours a week. You have like one rehearsal a week, so you probably work like 6 hours a week. And yes, you have your concerts, and yes, so it's not like 40-hour jobs. But here's what you don't understand. That money is paying for the 15 years of practice. That money's paying for the 20 years of ability. So for example, when the guy was doing this construction on that 3rd floor, he hired what they call here a master of architect. And that's someone who has at least 30 years of experience under his belt. And then you have to pay them double. Just because they have that experience doesn't mean they're necessarily better, but the experience says a lot. Having years of practice and trial and error and perfecting your craft, it's hard to put price tag on that, right? So, anyways, a lot of people too were like, this is ridiculous. These people are making as much as a doctor for sitting down in a fancy hall room and playing beautiful music. But there's a lot of work that goes into it. It's very, very competitive. And this is how they support themselves too. So anyways, they're on strike right now. Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra is also on strike, as well as another orchestra in Pennsylvania. Something. They all want a raise. Oh. Troubling times in the musician world. I'm almost done. So I have salami. And I have cheese. Oh. I don't even know what I'm going to title this. Just cheese and crackers? Cheese, ham, cheese, salami, and cracker. The cheese and crackers rolls off your tongue. Mmm. Mmm. Oh. I want butter. I have to use this butter today anyways. Oh. My arteries. Mmm. Takes it up to a whole new level. Oh. Wow, this peanut butter smells strong. Oh, it's just sitting here. I have a question for all you guys, and I really hope that you comment down below and let me know what you think. I thought about just surprising people, or not even like announcing it and just doing it. I actually care about the viewers. Oh. I spent like a good half hour responding to everyone's Facebook messages last week. Well, it happened over the past 2 days because I didn't respond. So this morning when I woke up, I spent like a good half hour sitting there. So I want to know. Actually, I don't want to say yet. I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna wait. Next week, things are gonna be very different. I'm gonna wait. Sorry, now I have to keep you in suspense. But something very big is on my mind. Very big. You guys are gonna freak out. Oh my god. A few pieces left. Like, oh my god, totally. Yummy. This is such finger food right now. I literally just ate that whole block of cheese and that whole packet of salami and 2 packets of crackers. Now, I also brought this out. This is more sausage. I thought about cutting this up, but I think this should be cooked. Let me see if I still have time. Yes, the 4th of November. I'll be back by then. So I'm going to wait for a different mukbang to eat. I don't know how. Chicharros. No, chicharo. That chicharron is bacon. That's not bacon. I can't read that. Chicharrillos. Yeah. Sometimes when I see foreign words, my mind just stops. I can't even sound it out. Well, you guys, I pretty much just ate everything. And I feel full. And I hope you feel full too. And thank you for listening to me tell you about a little bit about my church and the opportunities I had. And I hope you have a good day. It's a beautiful day. Well, see, now the clouds are coming. We did laundry this morning. I do this every time. I say goodbye and then I start talking about something else. You know who does that? My aunt. Drives my mom crazy. And I probably drive some of you crazy as well. I'm like, okay, goodbye. Oh my god, did you hear about that? And you know what? I will see you tomorrow. But when I see you tomorrow, there's a surprise. So, tomorrow, you'll find out. Bye-bye.